I'm Vivian Lee. This month marks the 4th anniversary of the Atlanta spa shootings. A PBS documentary about this pivotal moment for the AAPI community is a special presentation of CUNY TV.
While police were trying to help people who were dying at that location, witnesses were calling them about another shooting.
On March 16, 2021, a gunman took the lives of 8 people at 2 spas and a massage parlor in the Atlanta area. They were Sunjung Park, Delana Ashley Yon, Hyunjung Grant, Xiaoji Tin, Young-A Yu, Dao-Yo Feng, Paul Andre Michaels, and Sunja Kim. 6 of the victims were Asian, 7 were women. The shooter, Robert Aaron Long, was 21 at the time. Investigators revealed hours after his arrest that Long had confessed to the shootings and to being a sex addict who wanted to eliminate, quote, temptation. Months later, he pleaded guilty to 4 of the murders. Long is now serving 4 life sentences without the chance of parole. He has yet to be tried for the murders of the remaining 4 victims, all of them Asian women. The district attorney prosecuting that case, Fonnie Willis, has filed hate crimes charges on the basis of race and gender and is seeking the death penalty. Long has pleaded not guilty. The case has been plagued by delays for 4 years. Memories, though, of first hearing about the shootings are still fresh.
The thing that really hit me was watching the officials speak about the tragedy as the shooter just having a bad day and not recognizing the shooting as a racially targeted incident.
New York State Assemblywoman Grace Lee is referring to this moment.
He understood the gravity of it, and he was pretty much fed up and kind of at the end of his rope, and yesterday was a really bad day for him, and this is what he did.
Captured by news cameras and recalled in the PBS documentary Rising Against Asian Hate, one day in March.
Well, I think it really underscored a feeling that many of us were having during COVID as we saw this rise in anti-Asian hate. It was that feeling of being unseen, yet still targeted, and then also this other layer of Asian American women being targeted, the hypersexualization of Asian women.
The Atlanta spa shootings struck at the height of the COVID-19 pandemic, as anti-Asian attacks were already escalating to an all-time high nationwide. Then President Donald Trump had racialized the pandemic as early as 2020.
I can name Kung Flu,
using terms like Kung Flu and Chinese virus. It prompted Assemblymember Lee to co-sponsor and help to pass the New York State Hate Crimes Modernization Act.
Our goal was to add additional offenses that we are seeing in real life are being committed as hate crimes so that we could also prosecute them, not just for the underlying offense, but for the intention in which that crime was committed.
While President Joe Biden condemned the Atlanta spa shootings as a hate crime, the FBI did not. Further complicating the story, reports that the businesses the shooter targeted appeared online as sites where sex could be bought and sold. A woman who had been trafficked for decades in Georgia, including at one of the spas Long targeted, was brought to New York City by federal investigators and connected to the Korean American Family Service Center, or KAFSC, a crisis center for women and a social programming center for families. Executive Director Jihei Fisher recalls how this woman reacted to the shootings.
She formed this nice friendship with the workers who were killed. And I think she was just so devastated. So she called our counselor because she felt suicidal because she had carried so much guilt.
The victims' families also agonized over media coverage that sympathized with the shooter more. Most understood how the hypersexualization of Asian women, a stereotype embedded in American culture and policy for more than a century, may have been a factor. For example, the Page Act of 1875, the first federal immigration law, resulted in a widespread stereotyping of East Asian women as prostitutes. Fighting such stereotypes continues to this day. New York State Senator John Liu, who says the Atlanta spa massacre was a hate crime, has been working since the pandemic to pass a bill that would mandate Asian American history lessons in all school districts.
We're bordering on un-American, in some cases, dehumanized. And I think the way to counter or to hopefully eradicate anti-Asian hate is by allowing school kids and generations of New Yorkers to really understand what the Asian American experience has been and how we've contributed to the success of New York and America itself.
The documentary Rising Against Asian Hate, One Day in March, strikes an optimistic note about the AAPI community's ability to obtain the justice it seeks in Atlanta and beyond. It airs March 16th and can be streamed on CUNY TV's app and YouTube channel. For Asian American Life, I'm Vivian Lee.